So it looks like we needed just a few more hours. What's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBit Solutions. Check this out. We got Mara down 7.24%. So this was a focus that I had in just the past 24 hours, and today it paid off. So we also have Coin, which is the main one that I was paying attention to. It was, in my opinion, the less risky out of the two. Coin and Mara have recently been going up. I gotta give credit where it's due to that spot Bitcoin ETF. So it was waiting for approval from the SEC. BlackRock is pretty much behind it, and it's been causing, again, Coinbase, creating a lot of demand since that announcement. And this is all pre-approval, right? They set like an official date now, which again sent Coin even further. Now, as of right now, let me make this very clear. Coin and Mara are still incredibly bullish after today's pullback. I'm not taking away anything from Coin and Mara. They're still very bullish. They're above EMA, but they're very overbought. And this is what I tend to see happen with very overhyped stocks, is that you can't be surprised when there's these pullbacks. And again, pullbacks are part of the game, not just on these overhyped stocks, but on anything. But this is what I love about when something becomes very overbought, is we can make money as it begins to sell off. So check this out. On Coin itself, $23,248 is what I made. I left myself with my one lucky share. And I didn't trade Mara. Mara was too risky. Mara yielded a potential greater return, but it's a little bit more volatile. And because of that, I didn't want to partake in it, right? So like, if you wanted to be more aggressive, I guess you could focus on it on the rip ups. It yields a greater return. I mean, it made 15% yesterday versus Coinbase's 7.67%. But when it sold off today, this thing sold off 3.6%, which is about nearly half, right? And then Mara sold off about nearly half, 7.45. So you can just see that Mara is just the more volatile one. So if you want to risk it for the biscuit, I guess, it can be Mara. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't even necessarily like focusing too much on these kinds of stocks because they are very risky. But yesterday, I took about a $1,500 loss. I had a slightly smaller position on Coin when it was indicating signs of an uptrend. And then today, during the pre-market session, I began to see that it was beginning to sell off. And this is when I began to pay attention. I ended up taking a position, shorting it. I added significantly more to it when direction became favorable. At one point, I was in with, again, over $500,000 actively shorting Coin. It picked back up. I closed my short as it began to test its support right around 170, 179.60, 178. My exit wasn't perfect. My exit was right around that 180, but it ripped all the way back up to 182. I got back in again, and it ripped all the way back down. All together in a perfect world from, again, the overall potential entry for the short to the overall lows, 4.2%. But again, because I was able to make money on the way down, it went back up and then make money again on the way down. I was able to walk away with a nice little chunk of change. Now I'm getting ready for my live trading session with the LPP team and seeing what else I want to take on for the remainder of the day. So the thing that I want to point out is anytime that there's these overhyped companies that are trying to gap up over something that is waiting to be approved, you often see, it's not out of the question, you often see that it pulls on back to the moving average. It pulls on back to the moving average. It pulls on back to the moving average. Obviously, this is more bullish than it is bearish, so as it gets closer to the moving average, the risk of holding that short position becomes significantly greater, right? Because it tends to bounce and then rips back up. But again, I wanted to show you that it's not just on the rip ups that you could potentially make money. Obviously on the rips down, but when it comes down to shorting, you're obviously not going to want to do that if you're a little bit newer to trading, if you don't know how to take profits, if you don't know how to manage risk, especially when direction is essentially against you, right? So other than that, NASDAQ market is in the green. So we can see right now during that pre-market session, it was up a little bit higher. It's been pulling on back, and excited to see that, you know, because of how overbought it is, to see if I can short the market today if direction becomes clear enough. But if not, there's no reason to overcomplicate today. I've already exceeded my daily goal, and just excited to go live with my LPP team, break down a couple stocks for them, and maybe take any trades that end up meeting my criteria. But wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of what was going on. Again, especially when you can see that direction is against you, just like I can see with coin, that based off of recent patterns, it's more bullish than it is bearish. It is in my best interest to not be greedy and just to take profits when it makes sense. And remember, one red trade does not define you as a bad trader. So the whole point is to manage and mitigate your risk. So as long as you keep your loss small, I took a solid loss yesterday, $1,500. Some people might view that as a lot. I didn't necessarily, because I knew that when the time would come, I can really step on the gas. So the time came this morning, I stepped on the gas, and it exceeded by a lot what I lost yesterday versus what I made today. And that's the beautiful part about trading. It's not about trying to be perfect, but it's just about knowing when to cut those losses, keep them small, and then allow, again, or know when to step on the gas when direction is favorable, just like I did today. So again, if you want to tune on into today's live trading session, second link in the description down below. I'm going to be going live in the next few minutes right at market open, and I hope to see you there. Again, second link in the description down below. And if you have any questions before joining, that's the first link in the description down below. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.